Aquí lo canta mi gente. Bomba, bomba, para siempre. Baila, baila.
So let's go ahead with number 10. That is the Byron Grand Poemas 19th Century. I'm not a guy who goes out purposely and wants to spend money on a cigar and look cool because my cigar is expensive. The cigar is expensive and it's actually worth it. It's actually worth it. A lot of these cigars aren't terribly expensive. Some can be. Sure, if you have to age them, that actually adds to the price, but none of them cost this much. And then here's a perfect example. This is the bottom of the top 10, and it's the most expensive cigar. Most expensive cigar, 1 to 20, is right in the middle. So you don't have to have an expensive cigar to have a really good cigar. However, this one is, to me, outstanding. 2013 La Verite. I was just going on a whim when I tried this one. I was just hoping. I didn't see any reviews. I didn't see anything that would lead me to try this cigar, but I just trust Tatuaje. And yeah, an aged Tatuaje cigar is probably going to be good. No, it was outstanding. It's fantastic. Fantastic. So if you can get your hands on this, and it's, oh my God, they're not even that expensive. They're not that expensive compared to other cigars on the list, like number 10, $35 most likely. This is going to cost you, I think, in the teens. In the teens. Crazy. Because I bought a box of these and it didn't break the bank. So I go from an inexpensive cigar to an expensive cigar. We're going back and forth. Yes, you get what you pay for. And when you go God of Fire tends to be kind of expensive too. They're in the 20s. God of Fire Carlito, to me, is the best God of Fire there is. So I guess you're wondering, hey, Charles, what are you smoking today? Well, I'm smoking my number 7 cigar. My number 7 cigar easily could be number 1. It's such a thin line between my top 10. Thin difference. Like, if I'm the kind of person, why are you going to rate something and give a 1 to 100 rating, or a 1 to 10 rating, and they don't get a 10? The 1502 XO, this is a 100 cigar to me. This is one of the most perfect cigars. Again, I could easily argue with myself that this should be number 1. This is one of the few cigars that make my mouth water. It's making my mouth water, and when I just smelled it before I lit it, I was, oh my God, I'm in for it. Now, I like it in the Figurado. This is not the Figurado. This is the Toro. And it's really good still. And like I said before, box worthy, not a question. 6. It's been hanging in there. It's been trying to keep from getting knocked out the top 10. But unfortunately, it gets knocked down lower and lower every time, but it's still there. That is the Rocky Patel Royale. Rocky Patel Royale in Churchill is a fantastic, killer, wonderful 100, whatever you want to call it, cigar. It pairs well with almost anything. Almost anything it could pair really well with, and that's important to me. And that Rocky Patel is great every time, all the time. And unlike a lot of the cigars in my top 10, it doesn't have to be aged to be good right now, and that's important too. Oh boy, we're in our top 5 now. Top 5, Monte Cristo number 2. I've said it before, I'll say it again. That is the cigar a person should have when they're trying to have or they're experiencing a Cuban for the first time. If you only smoke Cubans and you're in an area where Cubans come first, that should be maybe your first cigar. Maybe that should be your first cigar, or maybe just your second. But it should be one of the first cigars you ever have if you're smoking for the first time, or if you this would be your first Cuban. A lot of people love Cohiba. Of course, Cohibas are good. Cohibas are good, sure. Monte Cristo number 2. That's where it's at. Paul Garmirian Gourmet Series in Lancero. In Lancero, because I've had it in other Vitolas. Like, oh yeah, man, this is a great cigar. Man, I like this brand. Man, this is a great brand. Lancero might be better. Let me give a Lancero a try. Oh, what? Guys, it is a crying shame. It is a crying shame that cigar, the company, and even Lanceros are looked over quite often. Paul Garmirian's looked over quite often, and the Lancero Vitola is overlooked too much. Too much. Probably because the Lancero doesn't look as cool in your hand, but that usually will give you the best experience in that blend. Usually it will. That Paul Garmirian Gourmet, whew, gotta have it. You gotta have it. The top 3. Liga Privada number 9. Now, I've heard a couple people talk about it, and I actually kind of believe it's true. It does seem like the quality of the Liga Privada isn't what it used to be. I have to admit, something's missing. Don't get me wrong, it's still fantastic. Liga Privada number 9 is still fantastic. Let's go ahead and talk about the Cuban Boulevard Bellicosa. Great cigar. Number 2 cigar of all time. And that cigar doesn't need to be aged. To me, that cigar is ready right away, as soon as you get it. Whew. And it just recently replaced the Liga Privada for number 2. Because Liga Privada number 9 was number 2 at one point. But now let's talk about number 1, and that has been my number 1 for years. For years, it's been a fight. Not a fight. It's just been a lot of competition. It's a lot of competition for number 1. I've had some great cigars. If it wasn't for Paul Garmirian and Byron, I wouldn't have done this list again. In this 1502, it makes me wonder, like, am I being fair and but it's all subjective, guys. But the Oliva Serie V Milano is my number 1. That's my favorite cigar of all time. I love that cigar. Figurado is, to me, the best Vitola for that. I don't know why. It just is. Maybe because they don't have a Lancero. Not in the Milano. I believe they have it in Serie V. It's just good, man. It's just good. I can count on it to be good all the time. I can count on it to be smooth all the time. And that's just my profile. That's my profile, and I love that cigar. I have to have that cigar on one hand all the time. All right, guys. I want to hear about your favorite cigars. Matter of fact, since you made it to this end of the video, make sure you put down your top 10, maybe just your top 5. I'm going to compose a list of my viewers' favorite cigars. We're going to get a point system in, and we're going to determine what the Charles Walhingford viewers enjoy the most as the viewers pick of their top 10. All right, guys. I said all these cigars, all of them, from Paul Garmirian to Tatuaje to Arturo Fuente to whomever, are how I would spend my money.
Let's see what this fool Ron Real's talking about this time. Oh man, his intro is fire. You know what? I could do that. I can do that. I'll do it better than you, Ron Real.
I killed that shit.